everyone, my name is Liz Faust, and I'm the curator of Elongated Shadows exhibition, which was a result of the Apex New York City open call, and I'm currently located in Baltimore, Maryland.
Thank you. And so can you tell us a little bit about the key themes of your exhibition and what you proposed in our open call?
So Elongated Shadows is an exhibition that really proposes two sides of a singular issue of a double event, which is the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II, more specifically, the bombings of Hiroshima. I have artists who are grandchildren and directly related to survivors of the bombing of Hiroshima, and artists who are grandchildren and directly blood related to scientists who worked on the Manhattan Project who created the bomb. And both sides of this issue have come together, and we actually have the artist I have behind me, Keita, with his collaborator, Andrew Paul Kuiper, who made a work called After Image Requiem, and this is how I started this project. I was the exhibition's project manager, where we ended up showing this work with Andrew's sound at the Baltimore War Memorial about 3 years ago, and it really got my brain thinking about, well, if these two artists can come together and reconcile and contemplate this issue, then there's got to be more connections. And as I started researching and looking up, there was actually a lot of folks in Baltimore and DC. Ari Beezer is another artist whose grandfather actually flew both flights over both Hiroshima and Nagasaki, who's a Baltimore pilot. He works, he's a photographer, and he documents atomic bomb victims and the descendants in a very beautiful National Geographic portrait style. Mm-hmm. Then we have Yuri, her grandmother survived the bombing of Hiroshima, and she's from Seattle, and she's a soft sculpture and performance artist. And then we have Susan, who is actually the wife of one of the main scientists. And once the bomb was dropped, both her and her husband became extreme anti-nuclear activists, realizing the true horror of the bomb. Mm-hmm. And what's really important is that contemporary issues don't just pop up out of nowhere. They're rooted in history. There's a background, there's sides to these contemporary issues, and history really is a great way to talk about them. So even though the axis of this exhibition is set during the 1940s and World War II, they really reflect on a lot of the attitudes and issues we face today, as we saw with tensions not so long ago with North Korea and other nuclear powers.
I want to know if you could speak a little bit more about how you found some of these artists. I understand you knew some of them previously, but it seems a far more complicated endeavor than simply looking for representation within an artwork, because all these people have real, tangible, blood, familial, or marriage connection to this large event.
I found a lot of them through online, whether through just intense, deep rabbit hole Googling, and also reaching out to other people. I had an online exhibition called Atomic Traces, where I reached out to a lot of artists who were thinking about and dealing with the atomic issue, who didn't exactly have quite as an intense connection to the issue as these artists in this exhibition, but they knew a lot of the folks who are in the nuclear conversation, specifically other artists. So through reaching out through like Chimpam and other artists who are actively thinking of these issues, I got recommendations to look up and find other people. So it really was just extensive research. So I was quite happy when I stumbled upon them. And was able to find out where they were and that they were still working on these projects. We know the true horror of it now. What can we do to move from there? And that's a difficult question that no one still has a perfect answer yet to.
Mm-hmm. Once again, Liz Faust, curator of Elongated Shadows, opening at apexart in September. I look forward to working on the production and planning of this exhibition with you, and hopefully we don't have to make any major adaptations, but it's glad to know that we're going to work it out in one way or another.